to create our first Java file, you need to open Visual Studio Code. So click on this. So you will be seeing some options in here, that is new file, open folder, connect to, and you will see some recent files. So if you just downloaded the Visual Studio Code in your computer, then you won't get any of this, so you don't need to worry. So just click on new file, and here first of all I will be creating a new folder in here. I will create a new folder. Let me create new folder on my desktop. I will be giving the folder name as Java Programming Basics. Click. So I have successfully created my folder. After that, here open our Visual Studio Code and create new file, and I am giving the file name as Java, or Java Programming, and we will give extension as .java. So what are extensions? Extensions are nothing but the extension will describe this is a Java file. So if you want to create a C++ file, then we will write .cpp. If we are creating a Python file, then we will write .py. So extensions will describe what file it is. If it is .txt, then it shows that this is a text file. So for creating Java file, we will give .java as our extension. After that, click enter. Click enter. Before that, we need to open our folder. Here desktop, and I'm searching Java Programming, and select this folder. After selecting this folder, here I trust the author. Now we need to create new file. So here I am giving Java Programming as my file name. Java Programming .java is my extension. Now click, and here I am saving my file. Create. So we have successfully created our Java file. Let us talk about boilerplate code. So what is boilerplate? Boilerplate code is nothing but a template which we write in order to execute our Java program. We'll write a template, and that template is known as boilerplate code. So I will write some keyword which might look like alien language to you, but bear with me, just understand the working of it, and we'll talk about the concepts later in our upcoming chapters. We'll talk about in detail each and every word of boilerplate code in our object oriented chapter. So for now, bear with me. I am writing some words which might sound difficult to you, but in real sense it is really easy. So first of all, I will be writing import java.util.star. After that, I am writing public class Java Programming, that is nothing but my file name, Java Programming, and here in the public class I am writing public static void main string args square brackets, after that another curly braces. This is known as our boilerplate code. So here you might get some confusion, what is import java.util star public class, and what is the why we write our class name as our file name. After it, in this you will again get some doubts what is static, what is void, what is main, and in the brackets why we wrote string args. These all doubts will get cleared in object oriented programming. So when we study object oriented programming, you will get a clear idea on what are these things. But for now, you have to remember, you have to by heart this template. So first we will write import java.util.star. After it, we will write public class Java Programming. In this, we will write in the curly braces, we will write public static void main. Main in the parenthesis will write string args, and again curly braces, and whatever the code I am writing, whatever the code I will be writing, this thing will get executed. Whatever the things which are having in the main program those things will get executed as my Java programming files or Java programming data. So this is known as a template or a boilerplate code which we are going to write again and again when we create Java files. I hope you understand. But for now, you have to remember it, you have to by heart it. After some time, you will get used to it, and I can guarantee you that you will understand each and every concept after completion of OOPS. Now let us talk about some basic concepts of Java. Now let us talk about how we can give or write output in Java. So what is output? You can see that in Google search bar, there is our search bar, and we'll write some input here, and when we click this search button, we'll get some output. Some result out of it. Similarly, when we write our code in the main program, when we run our program, the execution will display it on our output screen, or you can say in our terminal. So the output screen will show us the output, whatever the program we have written, whatever the output will be having, that will get displayed in our output screen. So how we can give display, or how we can output Java files? So for that, we will be writing some keywords, that is system.out.print, and if we want to print hello world, or if I want to print my name, then I will write system.out.print, and I will write my name, like my name is Jabir, right? So what it does when I run this program, what it will do is, in the output screen, let us consider that this is my output screen. I will show you what is the output screen and where it is located in our VS Code. I will show you in detail, so no need to worry at all. So in output, what I will get is hello world, my name is Jabir Hussain, or Jabir, whatever the output I have written, I will get in my output screen. So this is how we can print the data or whatever the things we want in our output screen. So this is how we can print the output. Suppose if I want to print two different lines, then I will be using some techniques or some special keywords. So let us understand that suppose if I am writing system.out.print hello, after that system.out.print earth, right? Hello earth. Now I want these two lines in two different formats, or in two different lines. So how we can do that? So when I run this code, what I will get in my output screen, I will get these two data, or hello earth, in a single line. So I will get output as hello with no space in between hello earth. Suppose if I want to get hello in a line and earth in different line, then I need to give \n, or in the place of print I need to give println. What it will do, it will print the output in the next line, right? These are the two things, and now let us code this thing and understand how the output works. Now here I am writing here capital S. So system, in the system, the starting letter is capital. So by convention, we will write our class names, our function names capital in Java. Okay, this is the old traditional method we follow throughout the years. When it comes to Java, we write our file names, our class names, our functions beginning with starting capital letter. Now we need to write here system.out.print. Here it is showing println. So println, what it will do, it will print the output in the next line. So for now I am removing ln. After it, here I am giving hello world, right? So you can see that I am printing. Now if I want to run this code, what I am supposed to do, here you can see that there is a play button. So I need to click on that play button, and you can see that I got my terminal. So in the terminal screen, I will be getting my path, that is my user, Dja, OneDrive. This is the path of my file. After that, I will be getting my output. So this is my output, hello world. Suppose if I want to print my name, so what I will do, I will write system.out.print my name is Jabir. Now let me save again, and here click the run button. So when I click the run button, you can see that hello world. After that, my name is Jabir. Suppose if I want to get my output in the next line, so what I am supposed to do, we'll use two methods. To be specific, we'll use three methods, but mostly in most of the cases we'll just use two methods. So to get our output in the next line, what I will do, I will just write \n, and let me save and run again. So you can see that here you can see I got my output as hello world. After that, in the next line, I got my output as my name is Jabir. So this is how we can print our output in the next line. So we can also remove \n, and in the print I can write just ln, and let me save again. So to save the file, I need to give Control and yes button. So by just giving Control and yes, we'll save our file. Now here I am again running my program. So you can see that hello, my name is Jabir. Now I can print whatever the things I want. Suppose if I want to print system.out.print, system.out.print my favorite superhero is Batman, right? Now I need my output in three different lines. So what I will do is I will give \n at each and every line, \n, and yeah. Now you can see one thing here, that after each and every statement in the line 4, after printing system.out.print in the brackets hello world, I am giving one semicolon or whatever the thing you call it, right? I am giving this dot and comma. So this dot and comma is known as statement terminator. What it will describe is this particular statement, this line 4 is ended here. So this is basically a full stop. This will describe that this sentence or this statement is completed in here, right? So if I don't give statement terminator, I will get an error. So in the line 6, you can see that I haven't given statement terminator. So if I run this code, what it will show? It will show definitely an error. So you can see that it is showing error, system.out.print my favorite superhero is Batman. It is showing some error in here. So I need to give statement terminator after each and every statement. It is like a full stop. It will show that this statement is completed in here. Now let me save it again and run. So you can see that my name is Jabir. Hello, my name is Jabir, and my favorite superhero is Batman. Now you can see that I got next line. After that, again I got a next line. After 2 lines of space, I printed my second line. After again 2 lines of space, I printed my third line. Why it is happening? So you can see that in the 4th line, I have given ln, print ln, and at the same time \n. So it will print 2 next lines. So I need to remove ln here. So if I am giving \n, then I don't need to give ln. If I am giving ln, then I don't need to give \n, right? So let me save and run. You can see that I got my output hello world, my name is Jabir, and my favorite superhero is Batman. So this is how we will print output in our VS Code or in our Java program. Now these are the 3 methods I have shown you. Like we'll print system.out.print, and whatever the statements we want to execute, we'll write it. After it, we'll put a statement terminator. So what it will do is it will print the output in a single line. If I want my output in the next line, then I will give system.out.print ln, and I will write my statement. So what it will do is it will print my statements in the next line. If I don't want to give ln, then at the end of the statement I will give \n. So these are the different types of output, printing output or printing whatever the statements we want. We can print using these sort of 3 different methods. Now let us talk about other concepts. Before we talk about other concepts, let us do a simple question. So this is a question, right? And in this question we need to print this pattern, and this character, this special character is known as star, and you can print star by just clicking your shift button and your 8 button. So by just clicking shift and 8 you will get a star. Now let us see how we can print this. So we already know how to print like our data. So we will write system.out.print. In the first line you can see that how many stars, 1 2 3 4. So I will write 4 stars in here, 1 2 3 4, and after that I am getting my next output in the next line. So for now I will use \n. So what it will do, it will print output in the next line. After that again I am printing system.out.print 3 stars, 1 2 and 3, again \n. After that I am writing system.out.print 2 stars, 1 2 and again \n. After that system.out.print finally 1 star. That's all. Now no need to give \n. So this is how we'll print our output. Now let us code this thing. So let me clear all this. I'm writing system.out.print. We need to give 4 stars initially, 4 stars, 1 2 3 4 and \n. After that again system.out.print 3 stars, 1 2 3 \n. After that system.out.print 2 stars, 1 2 and system.out.print again 1 star finally. That's all. Now here I need to give in the 2 stars, I need to give \n. Now let me save and run. So you can see that we got our like pattern question. So this is how we'll print output in our Java code. Now let me dive into some other concepts. And now let us talk about what are variables in Java. So in Max we know that a variable is a value which will change in the future, which may change in the future. Similarly in Java we have two things, literals and variables. Literals are the constant values which doesn't change throughout the execution of the program, but variables are the values which may change based on the user input. Here this is a rectangle, right? So this is A and B. Let us consider the length B A and the breadth B, right? Okay, now variables are the value which may change in the program based on the input value from the user. We haven't studied about how we can take input from the user, but understand this, that variables, whatever the values we will be storing in the variable, in a particular variable, that can be changed, whereas a literal, the value can't be changed. Those are considered as constants, and like those values, literals, can't be changed throughout the building process or throughout the execution process of our program, whereas variables can be changed. The values of variables can be changed. This is the difference between literals and variables. Here you can see that initially I have assigned A is equals to 10 and B is equals to 5. After that I am calculating the perimeter of rectangle, that is 2 into A plus B. So the answer will be 2 into 10 plus 5, that is 15. 2 into 15. So our answer will be 30. I can change my A value and B value as A is equals to 1, B is equals to 1. Then the value will get, the perimeter value will get changed, that is 1 plus 1, 2 into 2. So the value will be 4. You can see that the value of a particular variable can be changed, whereas a literal can't be changed. So how we can declare a variable in Java? So for that, there are different data types. We'll talk about data types in the next video, but for now let us understand that there are different data types. In number system we have different numbers like whole number, integer, fractional number, prime numbers and natural numbers, all those kind of things, right? So similarly in programming we have different data types. So there are different data types based on the like usage of that particular data. The data types we will be having are integer. So integer data type will store only integer value, that is -1, 0, 1, whatever the whole value are there, those values will get stored in integer. If you want to store decimal values, then we'll use float value. And basically, if I want to store a value, suppose let us consider that is sun white. So what it will give answer? It will give either true or false. Let us consider that this is a computer. So if I give this statement, what it implies that it will be a computer or it will not be a computer. So to store true or false values, we use a special data type, that is boolean. So what boolean data type does is it will store only true or false. And similarly, there are some various data types we will be using in the process. For now, to store integers, we'll use int data type, that is nothing but integer. So how we can declare a variable? What I will do is, first of all, I will write my data type. I will write my data type of a variable. After that, I will write my variable name and is equals to, I will assign the value. So this is the basic syntax of a variable declaration, or you can say variable declaration and assignment. Assigning a value to a variable is known as assignment. Now let us see how we can declare a integer type data. So for that, I will be writing int a is equals to 10. So in this line, what I am doing is I am declaring the data type first. This is the integer data type variable. After that, a is my variable data type, right? After that, variable name. After that, is equals to, this is known as assignment operator. So by using this, I can assign values to my variables, and after that I am assigning the value of 10 to my user or to my variable, right? Suppose after some time, if I want to change the value of a particular variable, suppose here initially I have assigned a is equals to 10. Now if I want to make the value of a as minus 10, then what I will do is I will simply write a is equals to minus 10. That's all. So assignment can take n times, whereas declaration of a particular variable will take only once, right? I will show you how we can declare different data types in our VS Code. Initially, let me give int a is equals to 10, right? Now I am printing the value of a. So to print a particular variable, we will just write system.out.print that variable name. Now let me save and run. So you can see that I got my output as 10. Suppose along with that variable I want to print the value, or I want to print some data. So what I will give is I will give two double quotations, and in that I will write the value of a is, and I will give plus here. So what it will do is it will concatenate whatever the information I have passed plus my variable. It will concatenate and it will give me output. Now let me save and run. So you can see that this is the value of a is 10. So this is how I can print my data. Now if I want to change the value of a, then what I will do, a is equals to, I will just assign minus 10. Now again I am printing the same line. Copy, and here I am pasting again. Now when I run this code, initially in the line 4 I have declared initially declaration and assignment I did in the fourth line itself. So int a is equals to 10. So what I did, first of all I wrote my data type variable name is equals to my assigned value, right? After that I am printing the value. After printing, again I am changing the value of my variable. Again I am printing the same variable data. Now let me save and run. So you can see that the value of a is 10. After changing the value, I am again printing the value of a is minus 10. So this is how assignment and changing of a particular value of a data type takes place. Now let us talk about how memory is allocated to variables of different data types in our Java JDK or our Java compiler. So in our computer, basically, to be specific, in our computer. So let us understand, to understand the memory allocation, let us take example that each and every person who is studying this course right now has a house, and that particular house has an address. So using that address, you can reach that particular house and you can go into it and you can talk who are the people inside the house, and you can perform operations and you can like do many things inside the house, right? So using this address, you are reaching the building and you're going inside the building, talking with people, performing some operations, whatever there, right? Similarly, each and every person has their unique house address, right? No two persons in this course has same house address, right? Suppose let us consider that there is a person A in city Kadapa and there is a person B in city Madanpalli, right? So these two persons can't have the same house address, right? Same house location, address, all those kind of things. There is the address of a particular house or a particular plot is unique at each and every place, irrespective of like country or like area. They will have their unique address. Similarly, the memory allocation for variables happens in the same way. So memory is allocated for variables in the form of blocks. So in computer, what it will do is, when I write int a is equals to 10, or I just write int a, what it will do is it will occupy a block of memory in my computer, and that block will have a unique address. Suppose let us consider that I am giving a is equals to 10 and b is equals to 5. So what it will do is it will occupy a block of memory in my computer, and that block will have a unique address. No replica will be there, right? Okay, so here let us consider that I am giving some random numbers. Let us consider that I am giving the value as 2020 and this value is 2024, right? I am giving some random values, right? Okay, so here I can access variable a using this memory address, and I can access or change or delete the value of a variable using the memory address of that particular variable, right? I hope you understand. Suppose let us consider that I am storing my name. So how we can store name? I already told you, we write data type variable name is equals to data. So to store strings or to store my name or words, we will write string. String is a data type. We will talk about it in further classes. And I will write name, that is nothing but variable name is equals to Jabir, right? So what it will do is it will create a block, and the name of that particular block will be name. After that, the data which is stored in that particular block will be Jabir, and the address, like I am giving some random number like 1005. So using this address, I can go into the name and get into the value of that particular variable. So I hope you understand. I hope I told you like in basic format, but I hope you got the idea like how memory allocation works. Now let us talk about data types in Java. So in Java, we have primarily two different data types, that is primary data type and that is primitive data type and non-primitive data type. So primitive data type are the, you can say, inbuilt data type, and in the previous example I have shown you int a is equals to 10. So what I did, I just wrote int a is equals to 10, right? I didn't declare what is integer, how we can create integer. I didn't write any of these things. So already pre-existing data type, and we don't need to declare or we don't need to like define that data type. We don't need to define that data type. These kind of data types are known as primitive data type. In this we'll be having byte, short, char, bool, integer, long, float, double. So these are the some of the primitive data type, whereas non-primitive data type are not well defined. It is not already there in our JDK. This is there in our JDK, but we need to define or declare or like define what this particular keyword means in JDK. After defining, we can use that particular data type. So these kind of data types are known as non-primitive data type. So in this, the example are strings, arrays, class, objects, interface. We'll study each and every non-primitive data type in different chapters. right? I hope you understand the difference between primitive and non-primitive data type. Primitive data type are the data types which are already exist in our computer and we don't need to define any of those, whereas non-primitive data type are the data type which are not already there in our JDK and we need to define it on our own. This is the basic difference between primitive or non-primitive data type. Now let us talk about size of each and every data type. So you have to understand like a little bit of binary concept here. So the data is stored in the form of zeros and ones. So this is known as binary number system. You can study about that binary number system if you are interested by just googling it. It is a very simple concept that whatever the code we are writing, suppose if I am clicking a photo or like I am shooting the video right now, right? So all this data will get converted into machine language and that machine language is known as binary number system. So whatever the data is there, that will stored in the form of zeros and ones, right? In the combination of zeros and ones, and that combination, that number system is known as binary number system, right? So here 1 byte is equals to 8 bits and each bit is nothing but a information of 0 or 1. So if a computer is storing 1, then it is known as 1 bit. If it is storing 0, that is nothing but 2 bits, right? So array is nothing but like you can consider different blocks. So 8 blocks, combining 8 blocks of 8 bits is equals to 1 byte, right? 1 byte. And there are different data types and the size of byte is nothing but 1 byte. And the short comma char size is 2 byte. So these are the different data types in our Java. So char is used to store characters. Suppose if I want to store value j, so what I will write, char C is equals to j. So what it will store? It will store letters. Short will store numbers, and each and every data type will have some range. Byte will have some range, short will have some range. I can't recall the ranges right now, but I will provide you the PDF after this video and you can see the range of each and every data type, right? Boolean will store either true or false and the size of boolean is 1 byte. And int will store integer values. I believe that from 2 billion to minus 2 billion it will store integer values, right? It will have some range and the size of that integer is 4 bytes. And long is if the number is too big, if it is like larger than 2 billion, then we use long data type to store larger integer values, and the size of this data type is 8 bytes. And float is used to store decimal values. If I want to store the price or like interest I got, like whatever the things I want in decimal format, then I will use float, right? And the size of float is 4 bytes and the size of double is 8 bytes. And double is like to store larger decimal values, we use double. I hope you understand the concept of different data types and what is the difference between primitive and non-primitive data types. Now let us talk about comments. You know, when you do real-time projects, when you are writing like thousands of lines code, if you are having 1000 line codes, and when you do projects, you won't do it alone. You will do with your teammates. Suppose if that teammates wants to understand your code, and if that particular person, suppose your senior want to understand the code you have written, but you have written on your own way, you are the only one who can understand it, you can understand the logic. So telling the logic in the code or describing what are the things you have used in the code, right? That thing is known as comment. Comment are used to describe your code, used to explain the things you have written in your code. Suppose let us consider that I am writing calculation of area of rectangle. So what I will write? I will write L is equals to int L is equals to 10. After that int breadth is equals to 20. After that I am calculating. So if I want to describe the thing which I am doing right now in my code, what I will do is I will write 2 backslashes. After that I will write my comment. I am calculating area. After that, I'm writing system.out.print L into B. So what it will do is it will calculate the area of that particular rectangle. So here, in this comment, this particular line will not affect our program execution. What it will do is it will explain whatever the things going on in our program to a particular user or to a particular your senior or your team member, right? These are the things we'll use to describe. Comments are used to explain your code, and you might not see this as useful when we are doing small programs, but when you are in web development or when you are in app development or machine learning, there are like thousands of lines of code over there. So to understand each and every line, it is hard. So for that, what we do is we will write comments. So by just reading comment, you will understand, oh, this code is for styling, oh, this code is for button, oh, this code is for particular stack, right? You will understand the code at that particular time, right? I hope you understand. Let us see how we can write comments in our code. Now you can see that here int a is equals to 10 and I'm printing. So I'm writing printing value of a. After that, what I'm doing, I'm changing the value of a, right? In the line 7, I'm changing the value of a. So here I'm writing comment changing the value of a. Yeah, you can see that I'm describing my code. I'm like doing whatever the things I'm doing, I'm explaining to a particular other person. So for this reason, we use comments. And when I run this code, it will not affect at all. The compiler will not consider it as a line, as a statement and whatever. It will not consider it anything. Okay, it doesn't affect our execution. So let me save and run. So you can see that we'll get the same output. That's all. So this is how the working the comments are used in our Java file. So up to now we have studied about how to print output, and we have seen what are comments, how code or printing our output works, and all those kind of things. We have talked about what is output screen, terminal, and all those kind of things. But now we are going to study how we can take input from the user. In the Google screen, you will give some input first, after that you will get some output, right? So similarly, in our code, we'll give some input to the user, or we'll give some input to our code, and it will compute something and it will give output to us, right? So we'll talk about how we can give output, how we can give input in our file or in our code. So for that, you have to understand one thing, that is giving input in Java, taking input in Java requires creation of an object. It kind of I know that creation of object, you won't understand it right now, but believe me, just memorize the thing and after some time you will understand it. Okay, so for what I will do is I will write scanner sc. Scanner sc is equals to sc dot next. Suppose if I want to get an integer data type as my input, then I will write sc dot next int. Here sc dot system dot in, right? This is how I will create an object. Here scanner is a class and sc is the object name. I know you won't understand what is class, what is object for now, but understand it, right? So understand, just memorize the line. So what I will do it, scanner sc is equals to sc dot system dot in. So these are the some lines I will write in here, and by just writing this line, or you can write here instead of this line, you can write scanner sc is equals to new scanner, in this write system dot in, right? This is how you can take input from the user, right? After that, if I want to take input of integer data type, then I will write sc dot next int. If I want to get a line from the user that a man or I'm a woman. So if I want to get a line or sentence from the user, then what I will do is sc dot next line, next, that's all. Suppose if I want to get multiple lines of like words and all those kind of things from the user, then what I will write is sc dot next line. So what it will do is it will take multiple characters, multiple lines, right? Suppose if I want to get byte data type as input, then I will write byte. If I want to get float value as input, then I will write float. If I want to get double, then I will write double. So this is how the input taking place, working takes place in our Java code. Now let us see how we can take input from the user by doing some questions. So here in this question, we need to take input from the user. We need to take input from the user of value a comma b, and we need to calculate the sum of a plus b and give it to the user. So this is the thing we need to do in this program. Now let us code this thing, and by just coding we can understand how we can take the input from the user. Now let me clear all these things. So for taking input, what I am doing is, first of all I will write scanner sc is equals to new scanner. In this I will write system dot in, right? After that what I will do is I need to create two integer values, right? Two integers. So I will write int a, after it int b. So I'm just declaring, but I'm not assigning any values directly to my variables. So how I can assign? I can assign a is equals to sc dot next int. So what this line sc dot next int does is it will take the value of integer from the user and assign it to variable a, right? After that here I am assigning the value of b similarly sc dot next int. That's all. Now let me save, and after it we need to calculate the sum of two numbers. So for calculation I am creating again a new integer, int sum is equals to a plus b, right? After it I am printing system dot out dot print sum of two numbers is plus I am printing the variable sum. That's all. Now let me save here and run this code. So first of all I need to give the value of a as my first input. Suppose if I am giving 10, the value of a is 10. After that the value of b is 20. Now let me save. So you can see that I got my output as sum of two numbers is 30, right? So this is how I can take the value of input from my user. If I want to take a float value, then I will just write here float. That's all. If I want to take integer, then I will write int. So this is how the input taking place works in our Java file. In this question we need to calculate the product of two numbers. So what we will do is we will take the value of a comma b from the user by printing a message to the user, right? First of all we will print enter the value of a. After printing we will take input. After it we will write enter the value of b. After printing we will take the value of b, and after taking the value of a and b we will calculate product and print to our user, print the value of product to our user. So here we will take the input of a comma b and calculate product and again give it back to our user. So let me code this thing. I'm writing scanner class such that you will memorize it. You will this thing will get into your mind. So scanner sc is equals to new scanner. In the parenthesis I'm writing system dot in, right? After that I'm creating two integer values, int a, after that int b. Now we need to take input from the user. So for that I am giving a is equals to sc dot next int, right? So this thing will take input. So before taking input I am printing system dot out dot print enter first value. After that again system dot out dot print enter second value. Now b is equals to sc dot next int, right? Now after that here I am printing the whatever the product I have calculated, I am printing system.out.print product is plus A into B. That's all. I can directly calculate the product. Now let me save and run. So here it is showing that enter the value of A. Suppose if I am giving 20, after that I again enter the value of B. I am giving 30. Now it will calculate the product. So the product is 60. So this is how the working of input and output works in our code. Now let us do another question. So in this question we need to calculate the area of a circle. So in our previous like in our school days, we know that the formula of calculating area of rectangle is pi r square, whereas pi is a constant, basically 3.14 is the pi value. After that r is the radius, and this value will calculate or will take from the user, and after taking this value we will calculate the area and print the value to the user. Now you can understand that here the value of pi is 3.14. This is a decimal value. So we can use two things. We can use float, or if I want more precision, if I want to calculate the exact area of particular circle or particular figure, I will use double. So this will give the extreme decimal values, right? After that I will take the value of radius. I will also describe it with double data type, because I can like include larger decimal values. So by just taking the value of r square, and we already know pi, then I will write 3.14 into r. So by just writing this line, I can able to calculate the area of a circle. Now let me code this thing. Delete this all things. So what is the line first? What is the first line I need to write to take input? Scanner class, right? Scanner sc is equals to new scanner. In this, write system dot n. After that I need to give pi value. So for that I am writing double pi is equals to 3.14. After that I am giving again a double value data type r, radius. So r is equals to sc dot next double, right? I am taking double value as the input. Now I am printing system dot out dot print area of circle is, give space and plus pi into r. So this is how I can take input and print the value to my user. Here I can print enter the value of radius. Now let me save and run. So it is showing, first of all, enter the value of radius. Now I am giving the value as 2.444555, right? You can see that the area of circle is, this is the exact area of the circle. This is the precise area, 18.7764 or something. And I can also, if I want to like give centimeter square as my area, then I will give cm^sq, right? Centimeter square. Now let me save, and I can also give unit here 2.445678 something, and you can see that area of circle is 762 and so on centimeter square. So this is how I can calculate the area of the rectangle or circle. So in Java there is a concept called as type conversion. So what is the meaning of type conversion? Is nothing but converting one data type into another data type. This process is known as type conversion, and it is like kind of useful in some scenarios, but in most of the cases we won't use this type conversion process, like we won't use it in most of the scenarios. But in some scenarios, when we want to convert an integer value into float value, then we use the concept of type conversion. So what is the meaning of type conversion? Type conversion happens when the type should be compatible and the destination should be greater than the source. So first of all, let us understand the meaning of type conversion. So let us consider that we are having two different data types, D1 and D2. If I want to convert the D1 into D2 data type, then this phenomena is known as type conversion, right? Now, how this process of type conversion takes place? If there are two conditions, if these two conditions are satisfied, then and only type conversion will be possible. So what are those conditions? The first condition is it should be compatible, right? What is the meaning of compatible? Compatible meaning is size. The size, destination size should be larger than the source size. Suppose let us consider that there is integer and there is float, and if the size we already know that we already studied that the size of integer is 4 and the size of float is 8, right? So suppose if I want to convert float into integer, then it is not possible because the size is 8, so it will have 8 bytes of storage, and whenever we store a float value, suppose let us consider that I am giving float f is equals to 3.144. So what it does is the size of this particular variable or particular f value will be 8. So when I convert this into float, the data will get lost because the size is not compatible. The size, the destination size is less than our source size. Here the source is float and the integer is and the destination is integer, right? So when this conversion will happen, some data loss will get occurred. So integer can't hold 3.144 because of its size. So this is the first compatible meaning. Now the second meaning is size, right? Destination type should be greater than source, and this is the flow chart. This is the flow in which you can convert a byte into short, and you can convert a short into integer, you can convert int into float, and float into long, and long into double, but you can't convert a value of double into long. When you do it, the Java file will show you some error, and it will show you that data leakage or data loss may occur in this process. So the reverse is not possible, but the forward direction is possible because of size compatibility. I hope you understand the meaning of type conversion. Now let us see how we can convert one data type into another data type. Now in this process you can see that I have declared a double pi is equals to 3.14. After that, double radius is equals to sc dot next double. Suppose if I give here integer, now save and run. So when I click run, will it show it error? Will it show error? Now let me save. You can see that it is not showing error. I can give 2 here, and you can see that the area is 15.26, right? It is not showing error because the double has more size, has more area when compared to integer, right? So integer can be fitted into double value, whereas a double can't be get fitted into integer. This is the concept. Now here I am writing double, okay? I am writing double. After that, here in the place of double I am giving int. Now let me save and run. So let me run. You can see that you got error, incompatible type, possibly lossy conversion from double to int. So what it basically telling is, in this conversion data loss will happen because the integer is not capable of storing double, right? This is the concept of type conversion, right? Let me say, yeah, I hope you have understood the concept of type conversion. Now up to now we have studied how to take input, how to take output, how to print output, and we have solved some basic questions, and we have understood how we can install VS Studio Code, JDK. Now let us understand how our code is running in our compiler, in our VS Studio Code. So up to now we have downloaded JDK, right? So what JDK does is it will import all the packages, all the classes. The full form of JDK is Java Development Kit. So what it will give is, it will give us JRE along with some development tool, and we'll not talk about in detail some of the development tool which is used in development concepts, right? We'll talk about whatever the things necessary for programming. Okay, so along with JDK we'll get JRE. So the full form of JRE is Java Runtime Environment. And along with JRE we'll get some libraries, we'll get some inbuilt libraries, like we are writing import java.util.star. It is a library which is imported from the Java Development Kit. Okay, along with some libraries we will get JVM. So what is the meaning of JVM? JVM is nothing but Java Virtual Machine. So when I click play button, you can see that in the right hand corner there is a play button. So when I click the run button, our code is running, right? So what it will do is it will run Java runtime environment. In this Java runtime environment we will having a virtual machine, and that virtual machine will convert our whatever the lines we have written. Those lines are known as higher language, or you can say that higher code, so high level code. So this high level code will get compiled first, and that is nothing but will get like corrected. It will see each and every line, and it will, if there is an error, our JRE will JRE along with JVM will check each and every line. If there is some error, immediately it will show you that this particular line will having some error. First of all, correct it, or else compilation is not possible. If the compilation is successful, then it will convert into machine level. So I already told you that machine level is nothing but 0 and 1s. So it will convert into 0 and 1s. That is nothing but low level language or machine level language. That is, the extension of machine level is EXE, right? So this is how the process of our compilation or code learning will take place. So what are the things that are going on? First of all, our high level code that is written by humans. So that code will get compiled by JRE plus JVM, that is Java Runtime Environment along with Java Virtual Machine. So what Java Virtual Machine and JRE does is it will convert human level code into machine level code, and the machine will calculate whatever the combinations, permutations is there. It will calculate, and it will again give it the control to compiler, and compiler will give the output to our output screen. So this is how the code will work in our compiler, in our VS Code, or most of the compilers, most of the code editors. Up to now we have studied about what are data types, primitive data type, non-primitive data type, how to take input, how to take output, how to print output, and we have solved some of the basic questions. So this is the stepping stone and our very first chapters. Flowchart is a chapter, but we don't use it most of the times, and it is like a theoretical concept. We don't use it programming. We should have the knowledge of flowcharts, but we don't use it anywhere at all. But this is the concept, this is the fundamental level, and we have talked about what is boilerplate, what is output, input, and all those kind of things. And if you don't understand anything, I am telling you again and again, watch the video. If you are not getting it, watch it in 0.5x. I know that I go a little bit faster, but this is kind of excitement when I'm teaching you guys, right? So I hope you got some of the concepts in here, and after this chapter there are questions, assignment questions, and you need to do it yourself. And after completing your assignment, there are solutions. Don't check those solutions before you solve yourself. Try to solve each and every question, and I'm telling you, those are easy questions. If you understand these concepts, then those questions are really easy, right? After doing this question, you will check the solution, compile the solution, and analyze it by yourself. So with that being said, I will see you in the next chapter.